Okay, no questions.
No questions.
It's all good.
We're all galactic star family veterans. Probably like, bring it on.
All right. So yeah, let's start recording and begin.
Okay.
Hello, hello, and we say good day to you this day of your time or evening or whatever time it is. We are speaking to people all around your world today, and we say what a fantastic way for these energies to spread across the globe as you, light workers and healers, as you may call yourselves, connect and allow these energies to meet and mutate through your connections from afar and our connection from perhaps a bit farther away also comes to you with great love and joy and a happy and optimistic attitude amidst the very confusing occurrences that may be happening in your world and for each of you individually. Indeed, this is the time of transformation. So we are very pleased and very grateful that you choose to show up in spite of those challenges to see from higher perspectives, to connect with higher dimensions, and to allow these energies to work with you. How are you all doing at this time? All right.
I've got everyone muted right now, but if as we want to ask questions, Dante, you've got a lot of interference and noise in your background. I don't know, is there a lot, are there planes going overhead or dogs barking or?
In the channel's environment, there are some passing cars.
That's what we're hearing. Okay.
Oh,
well,
all right.
We'll just go with it. I will unmute everybody because I don't think we're doing the interference. So, yeah. So I'm unmuting everyone. Everyone's unmuted. And I guess if you have a question, why don't you just raise your hand and we'll see you in the video. Except for Gay on the phone. Why don't you, how can we get your question? Do you want to go first, Gay, since you're the only one without the video?
Oh, no, it's okay. I'm very happy to listen to everyone. Thank you. I have no questions at this moment.
Okay.
All right. If you have questions later on, you may feel free to ask then.
Thank you.
Great. So I'm just unmuting. Sunny, honey, you can unmute if you want to.
Okay.
Yeah, you're totally welcome to. Okay.
Thank you.
Well, I can start with a question that I have about, basically about being what I like to call a cultural creative, you know, as a singer and a musician, sound healer, and a bringer of the new earth through my creative gifts. And as well, my housemates at this time are also in that same boat, as we are, in a way, weaving the new dawn through our music, through our creativity, and yet the challenge of marrying that to a financial flow, to a circuit of giving and receiving, where we give our gifts and we receive financial abundance, because we're all in this place of like, how the heck do we bring in the money into that circuit of the giving of our gifts, you know? So that's the question I think that's just really, really, I would love to ask the Pleiadians, like, do you have any suggestions? Are we in like a holding period right now? And as we move into the ascension timeline tomorrow, does it all of a sudden start to flow more, or anything you can say about?
That is holding you back is your own belief about the deserving of that money, what you are worth in that sense, and perhaps a lack of action. So by combining those beliefs in your worth and in the worthiness of what you are creating, and by continuously putting it out in the world and promoting to create events and different content, you could say, in language that people can purchase, you can activate the flow. And when you find that doing and taking those actions doesn't always work, that is the invitation then to deeply look at your beliefs about why you may not be worthy, or what might be holding you back from reaching the people you want to connect with. And as you evolve your sense of self and you evolve what you are creating, and you continue to put it out there, more and more people will come.
So is there a certain like critical mass of worthiness that begins to kind of turn on the receiving of that financial assistance?
Well, we would say that, well, it comes over time. It increases every time that you put yourself out there. So when you are in center stage and when you are promoting and when you are sharing your work and you feel within yourself the feeling of worthiness or unworthiness in your heart, and you allow yourself to deeply get in touch with those emotions and expand into love every time that worth raises. And there are also, of course, many other variables at play. So another part of this is the persistence, that the universe feels your persistent willingness to show up again and again. And it also feels your persistent willingness to change. When something hasn't worked once, you do it again. So that matter of repetition, of continuously showing up in spite of what you experience as a challenge or belief in lack or lack of worthiness, you allow the circuits to work more quickly.
Is this connected to circuits on the planet? I mean, it kind of feels to me like has been a certain curse over the whole financial system and the ability for that financial system to come into the energies of those that vibrate in the Christ vibration, and that there's some kind of chosen bloodline money siphoning that's been going on for a long time, and that there's actually structures in the all that is. I'm not saying that I don't have personal responsibility to put forth action and to persevere, but I do feel like there's some kind of great turning at a larger level with the financial system that is kind of, because so many of us are struggling. So many of us who are light workers are like, how the heck do we get into this grid? And so I'm just wondering if there's something turning on the planet that will make it easier for us to connect to finances.
Well, one thing that holds light workers back is the definition of money as the only form of abundance, because there are often ways that many of you will have needs met that are not financial. And oftentimes you actually don't allow yourself to receive in those other ways, or you don't allow yourself to feel the validity of the ways that you are receiving abundance that are not money, because you place so much value on that concept of money. And placing value on that concept of money is also tied into that very old ancient structure you are talking about. One moment. That was a loud one, we understand. So that very old ancient structure that seeks to keep some at the top and most at the bottom, you give power to it when you think about it, when you worry about the influence of that. And the reality is those systems are crumbling, and they do not need for you to attack them or to push against them more, because in a way that strengthens them. They are crumbling on their own accord because the foundations they were built upon were flimsy to begin with. And now there are many waves of energy shaking loose that foundation on your planet. And what is important to you as light workers to do is look at the ways you do have abundance and celebrate them. And to also honor the ways that you can establish more of a sense of security. Because again, when your fight or flight reaction is triggered, when you are engaging with the idea of gaining money or receiving money, you actually limit the free flowing, loving, creative energy that could be flowing in a more non-attached way. And that energy often prevents you from meeting the people you are meant to meet, or
Okay.
it prevents them from feeling the depth of the energy you're offering, because you're also putting out with that vibration your own fear of what happens if I don't receive for this. Receiving
I know that
away
one.
must be unconditional.
That's
You
really
find great
hard.
success. Start off moving from donations to charging so much to charging a whole lot.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Did you get all of that clearly?
There were little sort of missing pieces there, but I know I got most of it. Yeah. I think I got the gist.
All right.
For sure.
Do we
Yeah.
need to adjust the settings so that the audio comes through more clearly?
Yeah, why don't we see if we can, I'll stop your video, see how we do with that. Okay, your video is stopped.
Yeah.
Also, there's a lot of background noise too.
Yeah, he's
That's
got cars going
hard.
by.
Well, it sounds like talking. I don't know if someone else on the thing has background.
I'll
I mean,
mute
when-
everybody mute yourselves unless you're gonna speak, and when you want to speak, just raise your hand and we'll unmute you.
Nobody talking nearby the channel, so that would be coming from another source.
Okay. Is that better? Thank you so much for that, for answering that.
Our thanks to you as well. And the next
I've got.
person,
Yes,
maybe
I've got.
you.
When will our linear time be blurred, and when will we be able to jump into other timelines like you can? Would it be in my years in this life, which could be 30 to 40 years, or is that a long way away?
You are asking when you can jump through timelines in the way that we jump through timelines?
Yes.
Well, you already have shifted to a higher dimensional version of your planet, and the shift is subtle in ways that many of you do not sense, though some of you already can feel in a deep way that the vibration that you are on now on your planet is a very different one. It is
Wow.
increasingly less physical. It is increasingly less lagging, in the sense that the vibration that you put out comes back to you much quicker, and this quality will increase. You will find that, in a sense, your prayers are answered much more quickly, and by attuning your vibration to that which you desire to create, you can allow yourself to receive the matching vibration with a much smoother interfacing time. Now, when you sleep and when you enter into certain meditation states, and when you use other various permission slips, you do access much higher dimensions, and you can project into dimensions that we exist in. Now, it is different for all of you at what point you will be able to have a contact experience with beings like ourselves. And for those of you who will be the first to have open contact, the timeline is somewhere between 2026 and 2032 that open contact will take place. And again, when you meet extraterrestrial life, you will be in a very different dimension. Same Earth, but a different dimensional octave of that Earth.
Thank you. In saying that, being in a different Earth and us being in a different dimension, will we visually see things differently? Like, is it more colourful or in a different way?
Oh. Not necessarily. You may experience a greater depth and joy. So in that sense, the colors may seem to be much brighter, though again, everything is in a way the same foundation. It is only that your perception of it is shifting. And as your perception shifts, you are entering into parallel realities of Earth again in every nanosecond. So some of your senses are definitely increasing, expanding. You will have more fine-tuned awareness within all of your senses. And extrasensory abilities will be very commonplace. So many more people will be able to tap into connection with their guides, to tap into connections with the spirits of the land, and it won't be as abnormal. And yes, within 10 years, there will be an exponential increase in that energy. And within 20, well, those of you who are doing this work now will be very surprised how easy and how common it is for people to be simply in touch with that spirit world all the time.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Yes, so thanks to you as well.
We're looking for a question.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'll go. May I ask how to best shield yourself when dealing with these dimensions when asleep? So when going to sleep and you're involuntary going through realms or dimensions, how to shield yourself? And the second part of the question is, if you are having ET experiences where they are coming to you and making changes to your body, how can that be stopped and to cease that contact from happening?
Well, the first thing we would ask is, are you sure the changes that they're making are bad?
It's unclear.
Right.
It feels frightening. The experience leaves me very vulnerable, very frightened. The reptilians that I'm experiencing seem to have me on a breeding program, I believe.
Right.
I'm not sure, but I've tried to communicate to dissolve any contracts and cease this contact because it disturbs me incredibly, but that has not been successful.
Have you commanded that they cease this now with all of your energy?
Yes, I believe I have.
All right. Well, we would first then make contact with your own higher self level, understanding that if your conscious self is making this command and it is still happening, your higher self is still giving a consent that overrides what you say on this plane. So you may want to use a sort of guided meditation or another sort of healing process to connect with your higher self and ask, why have you, or why have we, because you are your higher self, consented to this form of contact?
Okay.
You may get great guidance from your higher self.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we would also suggest that there are many other channels that you can tune to, and because your energy field is already cosmically open to this vibration. There are many other extraterrestrial energies that are positive and benevolent that will keep a much purer energy around you. We suggest that you work with a crystal ritualated quartz and have a strong intention with that quartz that it is a protective shield that is connected to pure source energy, and keep that beneath the back of your head while you sleep, beneath your pillow. And this may be a tuning device that shields you from those energies, not by really pushing them away, but by offering a much higher vibration, understanding that these negative agendas feed upon fear, and so they feel the fear that you are experiencing, and they use that for their own purposes. They harvest your fear in some sense. So the idea that they are somehow changing you in a way that is not reversible or not positive is part of the programming they use to continually generate that fear. And as long as you have a stronger belief that no matter what happens, your eternal soul is safe and sovereign and powerful in connection with your source, none of those fear-based energies can actually penetrate your aura anymore, can actually continue to evoke that primal fear from you that they really want. And if these beings truly are negative and you emit a powerful energy of love that embraces them and compassionately sees them as misguided souls that are disconnected from source and therefore suffering, you can hold open a space of love that is healing for you and is actually scary for them, that is not what they want. The idea of connecting with source is perhaps what they fear the most, and they do not want that fear energy. They will flee from that connection with source.
Okay. Okay. Yes, to all of those things. And finally, there's a process that sort of undertakes where I go through what I would call water bubbles. They look like water bubbles, and it feels as I'm going through them that I'm dematerializing. And I reach a point where I can hear myself speaking in all different versions. I can't see anything, but I can hear myself across different timelines, and I can jump in or out of a timeline. What is happening in that experience? Could you explain that for me?
It is, in a way, just as you are describing it, you are getting a feel for what is happening at higher levels. As you come to understand that you can consciously use this ability to jump into a new timeline simply by visualizing that timeline, questioning what would I feel like in that timeline, what would I believe about myself in that timeline, what would my reality look like, feel like, taste like in that timeline, and allowing that focus to sort of superimpose upon your waking life and reality, you can shift yourself into that higher vibrational time and space.
Right. So if I've overheard myself in that experience speaking about myself as if I have children and a family, I would imagine then that I've gone forward in time. Is that a reality that's already been created that I was able to witness by hearing it, or not? Is it a possibility?
The infinite scope of all realities that exist, it already exists. In the foreseeable future, there is no answer for that, because again, you are shifting from so many timelines. You could view an infinite amount of pre-existing timelines. And
Right.
that is a bit hard to fathom, we understand. It is both infinite and pre-existing in its scope. And so that really means you can create anything you want, though whatever you create is something that Source has imagined before you before you become the experiencer of it.
Okay.
So if you don't hop into that other timeline, you still have much to gain, much perspective to gain from viewing the other timeline.
Yes. Yes, that's true. Okay, thank you very much.
Can be used to view concurrent timelines. For example, there's another 2020 where you made different decisions 5 or 6 years ago, or even 1 year ago, and you cannot physically move yourself from this timeline to that timeline, but you can meet in this in-between space and learn things that you have no other way of learning, and actually integrate them at a soul level.
Great.
With these bubbles. And the bubbles is just your own personal metaphor for making this connection. Other people will have a different way, perhaps doors, perhaps pathways, perhaps portals.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Perhaps computer screens, who knows?
Yeah, okay.
Don't worry,
All right.
thanks.
Thank you.
Do we have somebody else who would like to connect at this time?
Great.
I'll ask a question.
Hello there, yes.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, very. Please.
Good.
Yes.
So mine's kind of on a personal level. I had a pretty amazing soul transference that happened about 2 years ago. It was, felt like an inlay of higher self-consciousness that embodied. And my body itself has been going through almost like, not necessarily a rejection, but it's definitely having challenges and acclimating to the new frequencies. That with these new frequencies coming in, I've had the dissolve of original mission and purpose. I work closely with you guys in the Pleiadian world and several other dimensional galactic beings, and I feel like I'm in this like in between space of like actually becoming more earthbound and bringing through this information into more of the traditional structures of education and medical, where before I've been like a speaker and more of like kind of consciousness, higher evolution consciousness events. And I think I have a twofold question. Is one, I'm not sure, like I don't have clarity and I don't have direction, and I'm wondering what and where that is stemming from and what I can do to support myself and really locking into what this next vision is in the way that I need to be used, and what I can do for my body in order to help these frequencies acclimate.
In order to allow for an acclimation, we would say it is important to truly listen to the frequencies that come. What are you motivated to do? Where is your passion driving you? And take those actions. That is, of course, paramount to actually allowing the energies to assimilate. Because if there is a feeling for a prolonged period of time that there is something you must do, there is something you must look into, there is a pathway that is opening, and you do not act upon it, you cannot receive the next thread of energy. There is sort of the energy backup, because there is much information that you have received that you have yet to fully act upon and embody. And the more you allow your inner guidance to bring you to take those actions, more of that energy will be received. It is also important to continue to honor the ways that you care for yourself, the ways that you detox your body, the ways that you clean your body, and come into a relaxed and open state in which you can be non-attached to the results of those actions you are taking. Because again, the other thing that may block the flow of these energies is feeling an attachment to a certain result of acting upon these ideas. You may think that these energies flowing through you must be brought into reality in one way, to find out as you take the actions that they are really being channeled in a different avenue. And so that time to really feel your universal presence and relax into that is a way that you can release those expectations and again allow for a very open perspective on all that could become of what you are receiving.
Okay. So I've been a conscious channel for light language and for specific grid matrix activation work in people's systems for about 10 years. I've been a channel for 20. And what I have found and where I came to in this past year through this metamorphosis that I've been going through was that my body, the frequencies, the level of frequencies that I've been channeling through my system, when I do too many sessions for too long of a period, you know, over like months or so, and I'm really doing a lot of work, my body feels like it's being depleted. And that's part of this analysis of how I bring my work forth. I'm curious because I've you know, downloaded information on how to protect myself energetically from this like kind of like depletion, and yet I feel like there's something that I'm missing, and I'm curious if you had any suggestions.
Are you taking adequate time for yourself?
Yeah, I am. I especially this past year.
Are you receiving care from others in some way?
I have been, probably could do better on that, and I've been doing better on that this past year as well.
That would be one way, as there are always places within yourself that only another person can reach. And so similar forms of work with the light languages and with these channeled energies can help you clear and purify your own system in powerful ways. And as well, body work to keep your vessel clear, to keep it comfortable and enjoyable within your embodiment. And also exercise and breath work will be very helpful in, again, allowing more and more energy to flow through your channel. So not necessarily the cathartic releasing kind of breath work, but the breath work that emphasizes ways that you expand your own lung capacity. Because this will again change your channel so that all of the time when you are breathing naturally, you take in much more oxygen.
So one of the challenges that I've had around that, because exercise has been a huge piece for me, I agree, is that I'm having cardiovascular issues that are preventing me from being able to actually exercise. Yeah. So this past year, I mean, like I have tachycardia, which is in a high heart rate. So anytime I try to start to exercise, it literally throws me for a loop. I can't really do it. So is there another suggestion that I can do in the meantime until I get this resolved?
Have you tried yoga?
Even yoga, I get winded. I've been doing it as much as I can, but I have to be really gentle with myself.
Have you tried very, very slow yoga?
Yeah, that I can do.
This is what we would suggest, with an emphasis on the breath, finding a teacher or a teaching online that shows you how to place that deep emphasis on the breath and how deeply you are breathing, and holding poses for elongated periods of time, 1 to 2 minutes, with a minute of rest in between every pose. This style of yoga will be a very powerful way for you to come more into your body and find a caring way to reach, again, those places within you that need to be literally stretched out. And this will also be a way that you can stay grounded within the work that you were doing.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, so thanks to you as well. And in addition to the yoga, you may find that simply standing and moving and allowing that to be as well an expression of light language at a slow pace, or dancing as quickly as you like, yet allowing the energies that you channel through the languages and in these other ways to move into your body. And this will be the other side to the embodiment, yoga being one structured side. This is a side that you allow your pure intuition to move through your body and let those places that need to be moved, move.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thanks to you as well.
So I have one more question. I'm wondering, I just recently met Sunny, who's on this call, and we just love to do music together. We in Los Angeles recently just sang a little bit together, and we're just feeling like we could have a future of partnership in music. And I just wondered, I'd love to know about our connection, maybe beyond this lifetime, or parallel lifetimes or whatever, and just a little bit about what you guys see as our potential or the nature of our connection through time.
There is a connection to parallel incarnations as street performers that you are making. So you may find that this connection wants to play in similar ways this time around. There is a playfulness that awakens the inner child within each of you and infectiously spreads that energy. And this way, there is a very safe and lighthearted container for both of you to expand. So we enjoy that and play with that. And think back to street performers, perhaps people with bells on their ankles and wrists, dancing and playing in warm climates. This is that vibration that you were once sharing together and are reawakening now. So this carefree spirit that you evoke in each other is a big part of what you are both needing to work on right now, which is why this connection feels so resonant, in the sense that when you allow yourself to really let go of expectations, of worries, of cares, of how what you share will be received, then you will experience much greater joy and expansion and success together.
Oh, that's so sweet.
That is so sweet. And it's funny, I had forgotten to unmute myself, and I wanted to ask a question, and Sarah was speaking as thought I was asking a question.
That's funny.
So
I'll be
thank
quiet
you.
now.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, though, for asking that question, Sarah. And I wanted to share that I've never been on a call like this, and I was curious to know, where are you from? Where are the Pleiadians from? I don't know.
Well, we are from the Pleiades, which is a constellation that is sort of within the constellation of Taurus from your perspective. We are millions of light years away from you, though we meet you in this space in between time. And well, you could say we are your ancestors, and we will reunite with you at some point in your future. So we have been connected with you for these times, and there are many peoples around your world who have remembered their connection with us.
Okay. And I can read about the Pleiadians?
Yes, well, we have written many books through certain channels on your world, and we are actively in communication with many Lightworkers channels, star seeds, and so on and so forth. You have many terms for this now. So we are also accessible on those other planes whenever you focus upon this vibration and allow it to move from the higher dimensions and into your heart center, allowing yourself to shift again your own dimensional perspective. You can integrate these energies. They can translate into your system as ideas, as images, as sound, as vibrations. It is a playful energy that we share, really, and we are always available because, again, it is all here and now.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you as well.
I have a question. I'm curious what the Pleiadian perspective is on this whole human timeline around the ascension arc that's supposedly like initiating on the 12th. Like, what is the perspective from the Pleiadian world on all of that?
On an ascension arc coming to your world tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, there's an astrological alignments that people are talking about, astrologers are talking about, that there's like, I know that we've already initiated into the new earth and the ascension process for a while, but there's some kind of other initiation or frequency that's like locking us into literally stepping through the gateway, astrologically.
Yeah.
So, curious what the Pleiadians have to say about that.
Well, now is really the time on your planet to step into that higher frequency. And it is also represented by this idea of 2020 vision. You are in this year 2020, and you are coming to see clearly reality as it is. Really, you are coming to see that the only thing that has kept you from experiencing yourself as source is your own belief systems, which have filtered that perception. And so it feels as if the energies are coming to you, and that is a very useful way to translate it into your language and into your perception. So what is really happening is that the lenses that have prevented you from seeing clearly, from having 2020 vision of all of reality, are now being washed away. And it does align so clearly now, as there are many planets moving through this sign, the Capricorn, meeting there together. And the Capricorn, you could say, is connected to the last time your planet was at a very high state. There were civilizations known as Lemuria and Atlantis, and the goat was the figurehead of the Atlantean civilization. They were connected with a great goat god. And in their natural decline, they began to see reality through these limiting filters. They began to feel that without the material, without the technology, that without the substance and the power, that they were less divine than they really are. And that same belief system has existed for now thousands and thousands of years upon your planet. And this is a point in which there is a critical enough mass who have disassociated from that belief system and who have in their own way buried that belief system in their personal graveyard, that the doors of perception again are being cleansed. And you are seeing reality for what it is like without these ideas and these beliefs that make you feel like there's a need for more than source, and that you are anything less than source.
Okay. So it's more of a, you know, obviously we've been moving through a giant shift in perception. So it's just more of the clearing of the veils of the past incarnations that's threaded through from, you know, older civilizations.
It is a very great clearing process. It is clearing away many layers of attachment. It is clearing away many fear from your system, as there is a collective stirring of these lower fear-based energies, as you are seeing that your world can clearly not exist the way that you have lived for a very long time now, and that many of the structures you have gotten used to are going to collapse, and that many of the things that are precious about your planet are going to change. And so now is a time where you are coming to really change your perspective to see that you must source your love and your comfort from something that is beyond your material in order to change this material reality in a positive way.
Right. I think what happens oftentimes when people who are on the spiritual path become so ingrained into those upper chakras of the non-material that they forget to embody and bring through like the groundedness. So are we going to be looking at, you know, like how do we help support people in really like embodying into the human body to catalyze the shift and the change that we hope to implement, you know, because I think, you know, we're shifting perspectives. I know that I've had layers upon layers stripped away around, you know, perception in this past year. But like I had mentioned earlier, it's left me in this place of like, oh my gosh, who am I and what do I do next? So how do we support people in that?
By bringing them to discover and embody their passion, to understand that it is the passion that connects the material to the non-material. And it is passion that allows the vibration of love become physicalized. So by bringing people to, above all else, choose to do what they love, to release more of those, again, filters of perception that make them believe that they are not capable of or not worthy of doing what they love, then more of that energy will descend into embodiment in order for these higher energies to meet the bigger number of people in a way that have yet to actually take in these higher energies. So another helpful way that you can sort of rationally explain this to yourselves is that this passion is also a meeting ground between you as light workers and ascending souls who have already done so much clearing work to meet those who have yet to awaken. When you meet at that level of passion, everyone feels and experiences and sees someone who loves doing what they are doing, and that energy is alluring and enticing. And understand that if you really want your planet to change, you are going to have to be in that way, physically embodied in passion, in order to show those other souls that what you're doing is worthy. Because there are so many souls who will never, ever be attracted to sitting in a room quietly meditating for half an hour. That is not the way that they will wish to wake up, yet there is still a way for them to wake up. And there are light workers, there are ascending souls at very high frequencies that have the ways for them to wake up.
Right. Well, thank you.
Yes, our great love and our great thanks to you as well.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody who has not yet.
Can I ask a question? Does that explain the twin flame philosophy?
In what sense?
What we just ended on there about embodying the higher love in the physical through passion, does that explain the twin flame project?
Well, there are many ideas of a twin flame project, so you'll have to elaborate on your particular expression of that term and idea.
I guess my thought is it seems to be a bit of a craze, and it seems to be probably, I think a lot of people have created something that's not there, and it seems false to my understanding. But then there's also frequencies and things that are experienced within that are not natural at all. So I guess I would like to know what the understanding is from your side, whether this is a man-made concept or not.
Yes, it is a sort of constructed idea, and it is not only constructed in your reality. There are other planets that create such an idea, and it is an idea that is in a way born out of the feeling of disconnection from source. So the clearer representation of this idea is that your higher self is your twin flame, yet even that idea does create a dual narrative that continues to keep you separate from your higher self. So there are many people who like this idea very much because it gives them a sense of security in that when they meet their other half, they will be complete. Yet again, that is a sort of belief that is constructed out of the negative belief that one is not enough in their own self. And passion is really a way to mend this, because the more that you experience passion and the more that you act upon your passion and the more you feel how that passion unites you with your higher self, the less you will feel a lack of connection, a lack of wholeness that may drive you to seek a twin flame. Now, this is not to say that there are not soulmates, because again, the way we see it, everyone is your soulmate. Every other you meet is in that moment, because again, ultimately there's only one moment expressing itself in an infinite amount of ways that you perceive as different moments in a lineal time from your perspective. However, in every single moment that you experience, the other is the most perfect mirror of the divine that you could ever experience. They are the most perfect channel for you to tap into your own higher self that you could experience. And of course, there are different frequencies that every person offers you, and you do make different connections with every soul that you meet to other lifetimes that you share together. In the moment, when you see that other soul's a perfect reflection, you can see in yourself all of the light, in them, all of the light and all of the shadows within you that you most need to get in touch with.
Okay. Thank you.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does.
All right. We thank you as well.
I'm wondering if I can ask a question on behalf of a friend who's, well, actually my housemates. I wanted to ask a question for them. It's kind of connected to the question I asked before, but they want to know about, they'd love to travel and share their music and be financially supported. And they're working on possibly creating a co-op, because they have a group of performers and singers. And I just wanted to open ask you that question of, do you have any suggestions or recommendations for them to unite their music with prosperity and abundance in all ways, and financially as well?
Do they really believe that it's possible?
I think we're all attempting to bring that belief forward. Yes.
Do you presently fully believe it?
I don't know.
That is an important question to ask.
Yeah.
Because if you are stretching reality to show you something that you don't believe, you may find that reality cannot go beyond what you fully feel in your heart is the truth. And so taking the pressure off by adding other fun ways that money can come will actually allow you to make more money from doing the musical project. And as we have said, continuously putting yourself out there, planning shows in advance in places around the world, regularly making and sharing videos and putting them through your online platform, and continuously visualizing, right? Allowing your full heart passion to flow into all that you do, best ways to bring that success into reality. So the answer in a way is simple as in keep doing it and really honor your beliefs.
I'm just wondering, so it almost seems like catch 22, because it's like, okay, you can manifest it if you believe it. But what do you do to get yourself to believe it when you're not manifesting it already? Is there like a parallel self you can connect to who's already made decisions to succeed in that way, or a future self that you can connect to?
You can use. And another one is to ask yourself, why don't you believe you're capable of it yet? Why don't you believe the world will provide this for you yet? And play with and bend with those lines. And as you're suggesting, to connect with those other souls who are already doing it, do that in your meditation. Connect with versions of yourself that have already masterfully created incredibly abundant lives with their creative expression, and ask them, what do they believe about themselves that you do not believe about yourself? How do they feel about themselves that you do not feel about yourself? And ask them for tips in getting there.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Yes, yes. And always be open to many other ways for abundance to flow in.
Cool. Christina, do you have a question, honey? What you ask
Hi,
about your doggy, or whatever you want to? But I keep thinking of your doggy.
Oh, I just want to say hi. This is like my first time connecting. So it's been a pleasure to be here with you all. And it's very interesting. A lot of questions were asked. and I feel maybe some of my questions would have been answered already. So, but in moving forward, well, you've answered that question actually. You know, and dealing with grief, have you any things that can help you through dealing with grief and, you know, taking the next step forward into the unknown, I suppose, as in a way of helping humanity at a whole and at a universal level, not just a personal level, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, with the idea of grief, first of all, understanding that it really is a process, and to not rush the process is key in getting through the process. That
Okay.
then each and every emotion that you go through in the process of grieving a loss, you are as well shedding your own beliefs, your own attachments, your own limitations. And it is in a way a process to savor, for it is a healing process that will bring to amend much more than your connection to one particular person, idea, or connection.
Yes.
So
That's great. Yeah.
yes, simply to not rush the process and enjoying moments of great creativity, of connection with nature, of a sort of softness with yourself that allows you to slow down and really go deep inside. You can find a deep thankfulness for all that has been shared. And in a way, this brings you to reprioritize, to find what is truly the most important for you, what aspects of life are truly the most lasting and meaningful. And when you shift your focus there, that in a way ties in to the next question you ask, which is how to be of greatest service to humanity. And we really say that there can be a lot of self-imposed pressure or societally accepted pressure that comes from other means, from other people, in allowing these energies to integrate and allowing you to do something that you think is very productive for the healing process of your planet. And really, a lot of the healing and cleanup will come when there are the circumstances in place that force a greater awakening to take place. In the meantime, again, it comes back to your passion. What are you really passionate about? And many of you will be passionate about taking environmental action, raising awareness about the environment, raising awareness about how your system suppresses people and suppresses your creativity and your natural state of connection with the earth. Many of you will be passionate about bringing people spiritual ideas and ways that they can transition out of the old ways of doing things. Many of you will be passionate about, well, working with the underprivileged, working with people who have handicaps or trauma. And there are so many ways that you can support the planet. And we are not saying one is better or worse than the other. For some person, simply creating art and singing and dancing all the time is the perfect way to bring in new energies of Earth. And they do not need to do anything that seems very easy from a perspective, because they're tapping into that powerful energy of unconditional love, and spreading it is the most powerful way that they themselves can be open to that high frequency energy. You are all programmed in a unique way that allows your gifts and your connection to love to be dialed in a unique way.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you for answering. I just have one more question to add to that. You know, that was amazing. That's a lot to think about. Thank you. It's just one thing is like, okay, so like I'm a spiritual medium as well. And I work with with energy, and I'm a transference healing practitioner as well. So between doing all that, you know, I just want to know, have you any advice as into protecting my energy a little bit more, because I am very hypersensitive. Very. Please. Where's my mic at?
Are you still there, Dante? There's a lot of interference going on in the background with the cars and music and stuff. I don't know. Are you still there, hon? Pleiadians, are you there? I don't know. We may have lost the connection, do you think? Are you there? Yo, Dante, Pleiadians. What's he doing? I think we may have lost him.
Are we still with us?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I really attempted to go away from background sounds, but when I went away from background sounds, I went away from the router.
Okay.
All right. One moment. We are readjusting. All right. To continue with the answer to this question about protecting your energy. Well,
Yeah.
first of all, the most important protection is in realizing that you do not ever take on the energy of another person. You allow your own vibration to change and shift to their vibration. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
It is as if you are tuning to the same channel. You can feel a person tuned to one channel, and you bring your frequency in to help tune them to another channel, if they are willing. And what always will occur when you are getting this intimate with someone is that your energy shifts a little bit to match their frequency. So when you come into this idea of releasing the energy that you have built up in connection with them, that is simply one permission slip. And what is most important to understand is what you are really doing is you are retuning vibration to the station, to the channel that you prefer. Much like somebody else is driving your car and they put on a station you don't like, you get back in the car or they get out of the car and you're back alone, and you put back the station that you prefer. And that's really all you're doing. So when you work with someone, especially people who hold a great degree of pain, you will always feel some of that. It will always alter your vibration temporarily. But when you realize that when you go back on your own and you are focused only on yourself, you can again tune the channel, tune the station again to the vibration that you most prefer. And all of that energy will be gone.
Yeah. But you know, if you were in a big setting of society, we'll say, a big group of people in the same room, and then you're picking up a lot of stuff, that kind of way.
You are picking up a lot of stuff where?
Like if there was a lot of people in a room, or if you even went into the city or something like that, I feel there's just too much going on sometimes that I can't be in that kind of a setting.
Everybody is tuning to one specific vibration that is the agreed upon code of conduct for that place. And so the invitation, the request that everyone is bringing you to adjust to is that vibration. They are asking you to change your vibration to a vibration that is more frantic, more scattered, more focused on distractions or pursuits of pleasure of some kind. And that vibration is not conducive to you. Yet one thing that you can do is to change your framework of perception. Change the story behind it. That you are not somebody who is walking through the city like the other people. You are the observer taking a look at the people in the city in their vibration. You are bringing them the vibration of the observer, the detached, cool, collected observer who is watching the show take place. Do you see how that can make your perspective and your vibration very different?
Absolutely. No, that's perfect. That is just that's perfect. Thank you so much. That really means a lot
Yes.
because I kind of struggled with that a bit for a while. You know.
Yes.
Thank you. That's a love. Thanks.
You can tune your vibration to whatever channel you wish, and know that if you want it to get louder, it will get louder. If you want it to get
Yeah.
softer, it will. And if you want it to get even shinier and brighter and happier, it can do that as well.
Great. Thank you. I'll work on that. Thank you so much.
Oh, our thanks and our love to you.
Oh, my love to you too.
Well, I think, does anybody else have any last questions? And probably we should come to a close pretty soon. But if there's any last questions,
One.
Lorna.
Can I ask about Uluru and whether that connection has been made successfully, and if there's any support that we can give towards that connection?
Yes. Yes. The connection from that place to the grid of the universe, to the galactic center, and to all of the other points on your planet is going through a big recalibration, and continuing to tune into those connections regularly will be supportive for you and for the planet. Though, by and large, there has been a huge shift that has taken place over the past couple of days.
Lovely. We will stay tuned then.
Yeah.
Great. Well, if there are no other questions, I just want to say thank you. Thank you to you guys for coming through for us, with all this stuff going on.
Read the question that the channel sent to you.
Oh yes, thank you. Let me read that. So it looks like this is a health concern, and so I will read it out loud. Hold on one moment. Okay, so I have some phobias about bacteria because I'm scared of getting stomach flu after a severe one a couple of years ago. Unfortunately, this has influenced my son, who is terrified of getting sick. This creates uncomfort in our daily lives, and I would like some advice about how to handle this hypochondria for both myself and my son. Is this a trauma created in this lifetime, or are there keys to unlock from other lifetimes so that we can heal and be able to live life more fully without daily worry? Is this some shared karma we need to resolve together? Love from Sweden.
All right, yes. So again, this is similar in a very different way to the last question we asked, in the way that we will respond, understanding as well that disease is a vibration that you tune to. And your higher self will always tune your station to the channel of disease for a very specific purpose. The most typical purpose is slowing down, bringing yourself back to the most meaningful aspects of life, coming to get in touch with your primal need to survive and the ways that it can express through you, and releasing self-sabotaging behavior. Though, again, the key of why disease usually happens is to slow you down and to stop some of the negative emotional scripts that are running. So from this perspective, disease is a vibration that you tune to for the purpose of learning and growing in some way. And so it is changing your own definition of disease that will help you, by and large, stop fearing attuning to this channel. Now, another key to this is allowing yourself to not even fear this idea of death as much, because disease is fearing often one's decline in one's body. And of course, so far this advice is not something that is so applicable for a child. So understanding again that the fear of disease is often a symptom of the fear of death. And when you fully confront the fear of death, there will not be a fear of disease. So in terms of the specific fear of germs, we would say that there are certain bacteria that do create diseases, and the stomach bugs are never very fun ones to contract. We understand why this would create a traumatic imprint. However, the common colds and viruses that spread are typically something that works to actually strengthen your immune system over time. Again, as we have said, these adjustments that your body's vibration makes are always ways that you, over time, strengthen yourself from these processes of contraction in order to release beliefs, in order to release negativity, and then expand greater into greater health and well-being. So we would not fear those experiences, and simply, yes, be cautious of contaminated water sources, because it is not necessary for you to contract more parasites or bacteria of that nature that affect your digestive system to learn these lessons, unless you, as a soul, choose those particular lessons. Now, a playful way that you could explain this to your son is, one moment, let us tune in to his energy uniquely. If he would believe in some sort of a magic tool that he could use to shield himself from these germs, you could say, this magic tool would be very helpful. It can be a symbol or a picture that he visualizes, a word that he says, a toy he carries around, anything that shifts his focus away from the idea of getting sick and into something fun and creative to do. And again, perhaps a simple explanation to him that even if he got, that would strengthen his immune system, that would make him stronger, and it could be fun perhaps to miss school. Reframing of this could be a helpful way for him as well as you to adjust, to diminish this fear, because again, fear is a powerful attractive energy, and there is nothing like fear to alter your vibration back to a point at which you could again attract the disease that you once have beaten. So releasing yourself from those fears is a good way to again stop attracting the diseases. And now in terms of the question of where does this all come from? Well, you are making a connection through a parallel incarnation in which you were members of the same family during the times of the Black Death, the bubonic plague spreading through Europe. And this soul level memory does come through at this time, though there are powerful things that you can learn from that time that, in a way, if you revisit those lifetimes, just briefly, you will find a great gratitude for your life now, despite many of the disturbances that the modern world brings to you, you can see the great difference in how your spiritual energies are open and how you have more freedom to choose and a greater understanding. For the energies from that time on your planet are very, very heavy. And when those energies start to connect with you at this parallel connection level, there can be a great relief, a great grief, and through that, an experience of new gratitude for what you have. So allow this energy to clear through your system and come to find thankfulness for these challenges of life. And again, realize that your body is much more resilient than you think. And every time you clear one of these little colds or viruses of that nature from your system, your body does indeed become much stronger. And if you really want to add to that strength, there are so many supplements and plants and magical ways that you can again tune your vibration even greater. All right, and that will do for that question. So we thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much to the Pleiadian Council, and thank you, Dante.
Oh, yes.
We will, unless we have any last, does anybody have any last questions?
Has everyone spoken who wanted to speak with us today?
I think so.
All right, great. And how are you all feeling?
Good.
Very good.
A lot of information. Good information.
Let's conclude again with a connective tool that will help each and every one of you tune into your own higher self, into the earth, and to each other. Coming to close your eyes and take deep, relaxing breaths in through your nose and exhale through your mouth, letting out a sound, any sound that you like. And again. And now, bring yourself deep into your own heart center. Picturing your heart as a brilliant, glowing star or orb of fire that glows with a white light that refracts, creating rainbows of fluorescence around you. And feel that with every breath, this light grows. We'll use visualization tools to help you expand this light out. Picturing here again in your heart a figure 8 symbol, 2 loops connected to a point in the center, and see this light in your heart move through each side of the loop, dancing back and forth, growing brighter, growing stronger, growing more powerful. And now flip this loop on its side so that it is vertical in its orientation, and stretch it so that one end of the loop goes up to the crown of your head and the other end of the loop goes down to the base of your spine, your perineum. And again, picture this light moving back and forth and powerfully with your breath, growing brighter, growing stronger, circulating through your energy system and circuitry. And as this energy circulates, feel it opening your root chakra and opening your crown chakra. Allowing this energy first now to connect up to the top of your head and opening in a great cosmic gate of light. Seeing that from your crown, this energy goes infinitely up in a great beam of light, first the width of your head, that then expands to feet around your entire body, about 3 meters in its diameter. And follow this tube of light up. Feel from your heart, from this loop of infinity, that many other infinite loops of infinity, many other little figure eights form. And extend those figure eights up. See each one going up to another star, yet first starting with one that goes up to your sun and one that goes up to your moon. And seeing these threads of gold and silver weave as they reach out. As you breathe, visualize energy rippling up like electric impulses, going up to the moon, up to the sun, and feel them on the next breath, descending down into your body, circulating. Hear these two energies of your sun and moon moving through your body, creating a great alchemy. And find new loops then from your heart that reach out and go through your sun as well, and then reach out to your sun's sibling stars, where beings like us meet you. You can see these going up to Alcyon, where we come from, or to Maya, our neighboring star, or up to Sirius, Arcturus, Lyra, Vega, many different systems. You may picture one particular star that feels a powerful healing vibration to you, and feel the energy circulate through one of these loops from your heart up into the star and down back into your heart. It may come through in colors white, blue, gold, or red. Allow those energies to assimilate, integrate in your body. And see finally a loop that goes way up and into your galactic center. Many stars being drawn in towards the supermassive black hole, and going through that dark matter, that density, that immense gravitational pull, with the simultaneous powerful radiation all the way to the center point of singularity. Smaller, 1,000 times than a pinpoint of a needle, yet surrounded by this dark matter. Find that point. And go through that point with your energy body. Connect to source itself, the multiverse. But through each such point, all of the universes are connected, and all of the galaxies within this universe are connected to all those other universes. That here you may know all that is beyond, to be one, to be within. Breathing this loop of infinity, taking this infinite energy in through all of these centers now down into your heart. Feeling this crystal column wash you with energy. A downpour of cosmic light from all of these planes flowing into your crown chakra and down into your heart. And now allow this energy to ground. Feeling this energy wash through your body, now down to your spine space, your roots, and feeling this energy then go to your feet, and feeling from the center, the base of your spine and both of your feet, these energies reach down into the earth and begin to wrap around all of the earth's grids. Weave through the earth's grids, through the crystalline grid, through the mycelium grid, connecting all of the plants, through the grid of the ley lines, or the song lines, as some call them, connecting all of the sites, all of the geographic forces, through metals and minerals beneath the earth, into the magma, into the water beneath the earth, all the way down to your Earth's very core. As you go down, the Earth is much like one of those suns, plasmatic, radiant. Allow this part of the Earth to receive this energy through you, through your conscious awareness. And see this energy then go all the way down to your Earth's beating heart, living heart. Feel the vibration of this great and powerful place, pulsating, emitting this resonance. And feel this light that you have connected with above, grounded into your earth, traveling through all the earth down to its core. And feel how the earth receives that and supports it, and validates it. And how this earth's heart is connected to a timeline in which all of you can connect with these great energies. That is what the earth longs for. That is what the earth has chosen with you. So allow that love from the earth to move through your body and perhaps a magnetic force, feeling these roots of light, these channels of energy from your feet and the base of your spine. Allow this energy to raise up. Coming into your heart. And now in the same way, visualize again more of those loops of infinity, connecting your heart on this horizontal plane and going around the world to stretch to the heart of every person on this call. As you breathe in and out, feel the love and the energy that is moving from heart to heart, connecting you, reminding you and showing you you are all connected, you are all one. Feel this grid that you are creating of light, simply through your presence. If you are watching this at a later time, connect in with this grid, for it is infinite. It is beyond one moment. And know that as you are connected to this grid now, so you shall so shall you forever be connected to this grid. And feel from your heart now another loop, connecting outwardly. Another series of loops, rather, to every person that you know and have ever met. Feeling the love flow beyond time and space, feeling that love flow from your heart into theirs, and that love flowing back to yours. Reaching around the world, beyond time, allowing it to expand and expand through this connection, the cosmos and the earth. And feeling even more loops from your heart connect out to everyone that the first people on this call have ever met, allowing your grid to go even brighter. And beyond that, allowing yourself to picture each heart creating connection, each heart creating contact, bigger and wider webs reaching from your planet. All of the human hearts connected. All of the human hearts connected to each other and connected to the cosmos, connected to the earth. And picture what world would that be? What world would that be where each and every one of you know your divinity, where each and every one of you know your worthiness, where each and every one of you know your uniqueness is what makes you totally like everyone else, totally part of the big picture. Your uniqueness is what allows you to belong to the group even more. And when you bring out your heart's unique gift, you have something that no one else can offer here. Imagine a world where everyone knew that. Imagine now, with all this energy, you are becoming a version of yourself that knows that knows you are infinitely worthy, that knows you are infinitely deserving, that knows you are infinitely powerful, infinitely capable, and that all that you wish to be as possible is a reality you can create. Feel the cosmos and the earth and every heart supporting you in becoming who you truly wish to be, where your passion guides you to be. And know that it is so, and that all you must do, continue to follow this knowing of your heart, the same knowing that has brought you as far as it has, and has brought you to this connection, to this place. We love you very much. And as we end the transmission, we do not leave, knowing again that every connection you make is infinite, and we as infinite beings are always available to those of you who would wish to connect with our energy, receive our vibration, and make telepathic contact in any way you wish. We will be pleased to connect, we will be pleased to share energy, and we look forward to meeting you in those ways in these times to come. Our great love to you. Oh, yes.
Thank you, Dante. Amid all the noises and the cars and the music and the perfect chaos timeline, you know, the end of the chaos timeline today. Tomorrow begins one timeline.
Were the noises really bad? Could you hear them?
At times, yeah. I mean, when there was like some, I don't know, somebody with a car stereo or a stereo just playing it for a while. But
people playing music for a couple of minutes. I'm really sorry. I mean,
it's okay. I think we got what I think we were able to decipher it, which is sometimes there was a lot of effort to keep listening.
Hear it okay?
Yeah.
Others?
Perfect.
Yeah.
It was good.
Thank you. It was beautiful.
You hear it though?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we can hear you.
And the cars distract you collectively?
No.
No. No.
Okay.
I was dancing sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, Mexico is kind of like, you never know really what it's gonna be. It's really loud.
All right, sweetie. You want to say goodbye to us on your video? I asked to start the video.
Yeah, there's something driving by with something loud.
It's nighttime now.
Nighttime. All right. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye. Would love to do this next month again. I'd be really happy to share. Sarah wants to host again. I'm happy to do that. And so we've recorded the entire video, and likely I'm going to put it up on my YouTube channel. But if you want your personal question to be cut out of that video, just let me know, because I can easily chop it up and take chunks out. So you can let me know now, or you can like message me afterwards.
I'm okay.
Okay.
I'm okay with it all.
Okay. If it isn't okay, let me know. And yeah, if you ever want to go deeper in your contact with Pleiadian, I do one-to-one sessions, and we can go deep and let the magic flow. And if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, it's youtube.com/blissbeing.
We just start throwing the crystals off.
Bliss beings, yeah.
And there's a Facebook called Bliss Beings, and a
Oh, that's
page.
the new one. They've been trying to get me to work on that. They've been telling me that. But I did.
Okay. It's okay. I just was meeting you for a second. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much, Dante. It was great. And we'll
Thank
keep you
you.
posted about future calls.
The first time I've done it, and I have enjoyed it so much.
Thank
You
you.
enjoy. Thank you, Dante. Have a beautiful night, everybody, or day,
Okay.
or wherever you are.
Nice
Thank
meeting
you.
you all. See you soon.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Ciao.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.